have to do what Jesus did, and that is forgive. So to my
Good afternoon and welcome to Connections, and I'm your host, Pastor Kevin McGee of the Victory Temple Church of God in Christ. You're listening to us on IntellectualRadio.com. You can also listen to us by downloading the iHeartRadio app. Connections is a show designed to keep you connected to the community, so sit back and relax as we get connected. Everybody that knows me, or many people that know me, know that I am a lover of poetry. Poetry is in my bones ever since my younger years of high school and college. I just dabble in it, but nothing to the point of these three that I'm going to bring to you. They live it, they eat it, they breathe it, they walk it, they talk it. It's all up in them. It's in their blood. And so we have declared today to be Spoken Word Saturday here on Connections. And today we have three poets who will share with us their experiences, their triumphs, and their many accomplishments in the realm of poetry. We have Evie Wells, who was a guest on one of our shows a few months back with her mother. It was our sickle cell awareness show. Today she's going to operate in one of her passions, and she brought two friends along. And listen, those of you who are fans of poetry, you have heard these brothers. I've heard of these brothers, Momentum and Chill. And so she's going to, I'm going to let her introduce her people, but I'm grateful to have you guys with us. So first of all, thank you for coming on Connections.
Thank you. It's an honor being here.
Thank you, Evie. I've been trying to get a Spoken Word Saturday for past couple of months.
Okay.
But I needed the right group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, let me contact Evie. And I knew she would have some people. And so I'm glad that she brought you guys. I'm going to allow her to introduce you two, and then we're going to go forward.
Okay.
All right. Hello. Thank you, Pastor McGee, for inviting me. And I have Momentum, one of the hottest poets. He's a member of 3BM. Another hot poet, Chill. That's my buddy Chill. So I got two guys that mean so much to me right next to me today.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Again, glad to have you guys. And like I said, I only dabble in it, but you guys, you live it. This is your world.
Yes, sir.
And so what I wanted to do is to just, a lot of people don't realize just how hot poetry is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think they think of it as just something that just people just do. But it's an art form.
Yeah.
It's an art form just as much as painting, sculpturing, as music, composing. It's an art form, and people don't realize that a song is just a poem put to music. And so, and when you get into the lyrical emanations and dissertations of your craft, there's something that it does something to you as you're on the stage and you are reciting your poem, and it becomes a part of you. You begin to paint a picture with words and give people a visual of what you're talking about. I've often said that if you can't visualize it, then it's not good.
Right.
You ought to be able to paint a picture. Let the audience see what you are feeling. Let them see your passion. I wrote a poem called My Blood Bleeds Poetry. And so that's what you have to do. You have to let that passion come out, because they don't know what's going on in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can paint a picture of what's going on in your mind, now they can share in it. And now they can feel where you're coming from. All right. So before I get to the poetry, Evie, you just had a production on last weekend.
Yeah. Stage play, Forbidden Fruit.
Forbidden Fruit.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to make that.
Man,
by the time I found
back.
out what was going on, it was too late for me to try to rearrange it. But tell us a little bit about Forbidden Fruit.
Okay.
And then we'll move forward.
Our Forbidden Fruit stage play was birthed from a book I wrote called Forbidden Fruit. I wrote this regarding relationships, some things I've been through and other things I've seen. This play this is like the third time we've done the play, and it's getting better and better. Chill here is one of the actors, one of the lead actors in the play.
All right.
He is phenomenal. I had no idea of how phenomenal he was.
That's my bro.
He really brought it. So we had some amazing actors in Forbidden Fruit. My sister Queen Khadijah, Brian, We have Anthony. You know, we have some phenomenal actors in Forbidden Fruit that brought those words on paper to life. So anybody missed it, you want to see the next one. Don't miss the next one.
Well, I do know Khadijah, but you sound like you had an awesome production. So let me know. Please let me know when the next one will be. Because what we'll do is we'll bring you back on the show to promote it. Okay. And then we'll just really try to hit it, home from there. So now let's get to why we're here. Spoken Word Saturday. As I said earlier, poetry paints a picture of what you're trying to say or convey to your audience. I want each of you to tell me what's the picture you're trying to paint. Let's start with Chill, because he's just chilling down there. Look at him.
Well, for the most part, I like telling stories in everything that I write, even if it's me glorifying God. Even when I'm not telling a story and I'm just glorifying God, it's important to me that His presence be felt.
Yep.
Not only presence on me, but the audience as well. Also, the biggest thing that I want at the end of my piece, I want people to thank God for me. I don't deserve the credit. God does, because He birthed poetry into me. The words that I come up with, He birthed those words into me. He just brings them out. So it's never about me. I represent the kingdom, and I try my hardest to bring people to the kingdom, by showing them that you can be accepted regardless of how you look. It doesn't matter if you're tall or short, heavy set or skinny or whatever, dreads, bald head or whatever. That's what I try to show. And I always ask God to allow me to come off that way, because it's not about me. I talk about things that I experienced and how God brought me out of certain situations, how I overcome certain situations. So it's like I just try to give a testimony and hope that I'm able to, touch the next person or whoever. I just try to be an inspiration, but it's just all about God. So that's the picture that I want to paint. The feeling, far as God presence being felt, that's what I want all the time, because it's all about God, and I cannot thank God enough. I can thank God 1,000,000 times a day. That's still not enough from everything that He's done and everything that He's going to do. So it's very important that His presence be felt. And again, I want Him to get the glory from everything that I do.
And you said something that's very interesting. You said leading others to Christ.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that poetry is a tool that can be used for ministry.
Yes.
A lot of people just think it's a bunch of words that rhyme. First of all, how many times have you ran against somebody that said that's not a poem because it doesn't rhyme?
Yeah. My poetry, it doesn't rhyme.
That's art.
Yeah.
Right.
But see, there are poems that rhyme. Roses are red, violets are blue.
Right.
But then when you really get in depth in this thing, it's not more about the rhyming scheme, but it's about what you're trying to say and how you can paint that picture.
Yes.
And you get some of your folks on the chat. How do you use that poetry as a minute? They ain't nobody coming to Christ on no poetry.
Tell them.
Right.
But let me tell you something. What was the Book of Psalms?
Right.
The Song of Songs.
Right.
It's all poetry.
That's it.
And then if you want to go even further, talk about my man Solomon. Came out with the Song of Solomon. That was nothing but pure poetry and romancing the Queen of Sheba.
Right.
All right. So poetry is very powerful, and it can lead people to where you're trying to go. All right. Momentum.
Yo, what's happening?
Tell us about the picture you're trying to paint, man.
I'm so connected to these people that it's funny that you brought us together. But a lot of what he said, I'm on piggyback, because God is the forefront of what I do poetry for. And I knew somewhere along the line I would fall in line with playing with words, because I used to be an MC. So I used to love rapping and MCing, and it was okay for me at that moment. But when I started coming on the spoken word scene, I was invited out. I wouldn't consider myself a poet at that time. But once I took away the beat, I wanted to still have a message. I didn't want the beat to be what they, caught onto the song for. I wanted them to hear something in my words. If I got your 5 minutes of time, I wanted to make sure in that 5 minutes, I wanted to give you all the God in me. And that means bringing hope, bringing peace, bringing love throughout my poems. And my poems is what gave me hope. My grandmother is what started poetry in me. Family and friends, they at her church all the time. My grandmama at 90 years old would get up there and spit a poem. And I fell in love with it. Like, wow. It was just words rhyming meant something to me. Words just meaning something meant something to me. And then when you added God with it, it meant the world. So being a person that lost his voice, I lost my voice for 6 months. I got shot up. I'm not afraid to tell the world what I was into. I was in the streets, but God delivered me from them streets. And what he did, he told me to go back to them same streets and speak through poetry. And like you were saying, it's a ministry. People tried to cut it off and say, oh, it's just words. How you gonna stop it? God will use whatever vessel he can use. And he used me to do poetry and rap to come bring people to the kingdom. Through my life story, people that know me and connected through me to the Maywood areas, they know what I've been through and what I went through. And they know it's only God's hand that can get me where I've been and get me through what I've been through. So like Chill say, we use this as a platform to show other people, don't matter what you look like, don't matter what you've been through, God is no respecter of person. What he did for one, he'll do for the next.
And as I said, you keep having to say words are powerful because the gospel is words.
It is.
When we go, we're not singing to them. We're preaching or we're teaching them through words.
Through words.
And then there's a scripture that says that to sum it all up, we are living epistles read of men. Well, when people read you, what do they see? When people hear your words, what do they hear? Is your life a reflection of Christ?
Right.
And when they can see that in your craft, then they say, hey, this brother really reached me. You reached me at a point where I didn't think I could be reached. And through a medium that was able to draw my attention, because sometimes the song is not going to draw my attention.
And you know what? So many pastors came up and told me, you know what, with your poetry, you can go in places that we can't go. And us as poets,
that's why
we do more shows outside of the church than in the church. And it's so powerful when, we in bars or lounges and we're surrounded by other poets that's, doing, all type of poetry, which is no problem with us. But when we're able to be in a bar and we glorifying God and, we get the support and the praise, come on, say that, rewind or whatever. It's a real good feeling.
It is.
Because we're glorifying God. I'm not going to say the bars. I'm not going to say that's dark places. I'm not going to say that,
but you know what's going on. Bars, the poison is there. And that's what I'm going to say. Liquor involved in some people don't know how to handle their liquor all the time. So when you're in the midst of people that drink and they're drinking heavily or whatever the case is, to get God to still pierce through, that's powerful.
That's powerful.
And I'll take it even further. I know all of us in here know what they used to say back in the day when I was in school. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. To me, that was a lie. Because words, like you said, are so powerful. You can speak life or death on an individual. Speak life and death over individuals. So what you come off with your tongue, God is the one who made word. So you put forth word and put truth in it. That's the powerfulest thing you can have on this earth. Period.
Yes. All right. Evie, what's the picture that you're painting?
Well, my poetry is relationships. I started writing about relationships years ago. Through my pain, it's therapeutic for me. I used to think I was the only person going through certain things, and I just started writing because I wanted to write down my feelings on paper. And then I came to the point where I wanted to speak it out to people, but I still felt alone, like I was the only person. Well, through my poetry, I found out that I'm not the only person going through it. I'm able to speak to others that's going through the same thing I went through and let them know that they can make it out. God can bless you to make it out, because I made it out. I got divorced years ago and I was lost. And, through my poetry, I wrote a lot through my poetry. And I met a lot of women that went through the same thing I went through. And, my poetry to me is just a way to speak to people, you know, a way to reach people, as they said, you know, and you know, they said a lot. So,
You know, and you all have already answered my next question. My next question was going to be, how do you allow your faith to shine through your poetry? And a lot of times, you know, I know me, my poetry is like, it's not necessarily an escape mechanism, but it's like my alter ego. That's like my Superman to the Clark Kent.
Gotcha.
Because my normal day-to-day routine, you know, I'm Kevin, I work, I'm pastoring the church, this, that, and the other. But when I go in my phone booth and pick up my pen, now I become my alter ego.
Yes, sir.
And I allow that to shine through. And so, as you all three stated, the first thing and foremost is make sure that you allow God to shine through your
Yes.
work. And when you can do that, you can reach and you can move mountains just with the power of the word. Because let's face it, like you said, you know, we say sticks and stones. Words have caused wars to occur.
Exactly.
Everywhere, countries,
You know,
streets,
throughout
cities.
history, before a sword was drawn, before a tank was driven, before a missile was shot, words have launched wars. So likewise, words can mend the broken heart.
Yes.
Words can bring peace.
Right.
That's
All
it.
right. So now,
Confirmation.
all three of you guys, you're veterans of the open mic. Right?
Yes.
You all are
Take
veterans.
that.
But I want you to go back. I want you to go back
Ooh.
and describe your very first, if you can remember, open mic experience. Let's start with you, Momentum.
I got you. Ooh, I was set up. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I was playing ball. We used to play ball at the park in Forest Park, shooting hoops, and after we shoot hoops, we would, you know, share a few bars and then time ciphers, we called them, and spit a few rhymes. And one particular time, me and another guy, Robert Scroll, he was part of 3BM as well, shout out to him. We would stay after the rappers start. And he brought out his notebook. It was like full of poems. And I'm like, man, I do that, but let me see where he at. So I was kind of low key. Didn't want to talk about my poetry yet until I see where it's at and see if mine is up to par. So he said, man, that's nice. And another one of my guys happened to see us doing the poetry. He said, man, I know this spot I need to take you to. So the following week, he took us to the Touch of the Past on a Tuesday night, and I'm sitting there in the crowd, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It's bigger than just the moon and the stars, you know? So I'm like, wow, I'm sitting there, and the host at this time, name was Reality, he's Watilla now, called a name, Momentum. I ain't signed no list, so I'm thinking, man, before I can even get out here, somebody got my name. So everybody's sitting there, nobody moved to the stage. So I'm sitting there like, where's this momentum? I want to see who it is. So my guy is behind me, pointing down at me. So now all the crowd directing their attention to me, and the host is like, momentum, is you gonna come up or not? So I'm looking around. What? No, you didn't do that. So this was the longest walk, but the best walk ever. So I take my notebook, because I wasn't memorizing at that time. I took my notebook and I went to the stage and I hid behind it. And then some say, bring it down a little bit so I can focus on the crowd. And I spit that poem, like it was the last poem I was gonna spit. And from that moment on, I was a crack addict to poetry. I went every single Tuesday. If I couldn't make it Tuesday, I was calling somebody. Who on now? What's going on? Who's spitting tonight? And man, it's over since then.
All right.
So shout out to Watilla and my brother Trey set me up.
Sometimes your best successes come from a
I'm
setup.
serious. I'm like, no, they took my name. Yeah.
How many folks met their spouse due to a setup?
I'm right.
Yeah. Evie?
All right. Well, I wasn't set up. You know, I did my setup. I was writing, and I had a friend, Rochelle, I went to high school with.
Rochelle.
And at the time, I got, you know, I went through my divorce, and I was just writing my feelings on paper. And I came to the point where I was like, you know what? I want to go out to a poetry set, right? So I found out my friend Rochelle was going out to Momentum's poetry set they already had. And, you know, she hadn't even told me about it, right? This is supposed to be my friend from high school. I'm like, why you ain't tell me about it, you know? So we went to their set, and it was phenomenal, So I went up to the stage for the first time and wrote down and spoke what I wrote on paper, and I fell in love with it. I was nervous, but I was able to get my words out, and I like being in front of the crowd, and I especially like the group members, 3BM, when I met them. Yeah. So I started going like Mo. I wasn't a crack addict, but I went every week. I started going every week, right, and hanging around them. I saw the type of people they were, and I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do. So I started going every week, Touch of the Past, and I became a member of 3BM.
Chill next. You don't know it, though. Put that on the air.
So you guys knew each other since high school?
No, we met each other, 14 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, okay. I didn't know him in high school.
We
went to Proviso West. I went to Proviso West.
Oh, you went to East.
Yeah. I went to West.
Right. Went to East. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So he went to West. I never met him in high school, but years ago we did.
Okay, gotcha. All right, chill.
Well,
3BM.
I used to when I first got into it with spoken word, I was watching Def Poetry Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Now it was the wackest thing ever to me because I was a rapper at first, so I'm thinking like, what is this? I wasn't feeling it at all. So the church that I attended in Aurora, they invited Mo out. Mm-hmm. And so when I heard Mo, I was inspired. I'm just like, wow. And I was saying to myself, I can do that, but I wasn't saying it in a way like I was hating, because it sounded like he was rapping, but he didn't have no music. And I'm just like, wow. So when I heard Mo, I went home and, I'm trying to write. And so everything I was writing sounded like a rap. So I didn't really, I really didn't know about, any open mics in Chicago. So I just stayed home and I joined the group out in Aurora. So that was my first experience with open mic. So I branched off from that group as I, started writing more. First place I came was Touch of the Past. That was the second time that I ever seen Mo, but we never introduced ourselves to one another. So when I seen him, I went up to him, told him, I said, you the one, you inspired me. I'm going up. I want you to hear me. I just wanted Mo to hear me. So I went up there, I did my poem, and I asked him, I said, what you think? He's like, man, just keep writing. I don't know what that meant.
That meant keep going, baby. So work to do out here.
So you know what?
Mo in you, I knew it.
Mo told me about every Tuesday that they was there. Every Thursday they was down the street at a place called Bougie's.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I got addicted. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, I was out here and meeting 3BM because the only one I knew at that time was Mo. I didn't know Odyssey. I didn't know Select, Reality, and all the other members.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I didn't really know nothing about poetry. And so just watching Odyssey, his stage presence and how he hosts, that inspired me. Mo inspired me from the beginning, that made me want to do poetry, and seeing, Select and KJ and all of them. And I'm thinking like, okay, this is how you're supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. And I learned how to pace my poetry, without rushing through my piece.
We still have to rap.
And just, so that was it for me. I fell in love with it. And like I said, I don't know if I went to attend church that day and seen this man, I don't know if I would have been doing poetry, but it touched me in a way that made me feel like I gotta do this.
And that's what you're doing now, touching.
And that was, I don't know how long I've been doing poetry. I think it's been about 13, around 13 years. So it's a real good feeling. That's like, it's one of the best things I ever did. I love it. I still love it, even though I got a million other things going on, but I'm gonna be a poet before anything.
Right. That's it.
I'm a poet actor, not an actor poet.
That's it. I'm a poet photographer. The only thing come before that is me being a daddy. And not a husband.
Oh, and during that time, Evie and I met as well. And just ever since then, we just how we doing now. We always do shows together. Yep. All three of us.
It's just of course. That's what I'm saying, man.
If you had not gone to church that day,
I don't think so, because I wasn't feeling poetry at all. I wasn't feeling it.
And I tell people, if you go to church, you never know what you might get out of it.
And you know what? I admit now, I was at church for the wrong reason. But see, God knew what He was doing. Oh, women, huh? Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you where the women at. I went from sitting in the back of the church to sitting in the middle to sitting all the way in the front. Now I'm taking notes from my pastor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because in the back is so many distractions. And I had that club mentality.
Mm-hmm.
At a club, a girl walked by, you grab their arm. When I first at church, I looked at church like the after set. That's how I looked at it. I looked at church after set.
You didn't grab the arm in church, did you?
Yes, I did. After service. After service.
Oh, okay. After service. Okay.
After service. But like I said, I went from the back all the way to the front. So God, he knew what he was doing.
He does.
He knew how to bring you in there.
Yes, sir. He got me in there.
The thing is, the script already is written.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's just waiting on us to become the star role actor.
Right. Yes.
It's written.
Yes.
And sometimes we keep driving instead of letting him drive and enjoy the ride. Instead of letting him drive and we enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's already written, bro. Just line up with him.
Now, there's a strong online presence for poetry. Have you guys ever been a part of any online poetry communities out there?
I haven't.
Okay.
No, I don't. Online, no.
Yeah, because I've ran across some of the some great poets from across the country online, but it's a very select group because they just don't tolerate anything, and you got to really bring it. But I was just trying to get a feel because, see, a lot of people want to know, how can I hear more of your stuff? I want to go, how can I hear what Chill sound like, you know? And so a lot of times I know now, you know, YouTube is a very good medium. There's a community called Desty.com that I knew a lot of poets used to log into and showcase their craft, but it's also a discussion board. So it has a section for poetry as well as other things to talk about Black consciousness, Black awareness, and actually I helped start that.
Okay.
But I was one of the
Congratulations.
moderators. But in talking about that, and especially with what's going on in today's society, in our communities, the violence and the brutality, how can we use poetry as a medium in reaching our youth, you know, giving them an alternative? Right now, they're all caught up in the hip hop culture, you know, and that the hip hop culture, you know, I'm nothing against it negatively, but it does foster some negative viewpoints of our society. It makes everybody think that the only way you're going to make it is either be a rapper or a ball player or something like that, or selling drugs. How can they change their lives through the art of poetry?
That's what.
Oh, go ahead.
Sure. That's what we do. Me and Odyssey, that's what got us together. Me and Odyssey is the brother, co-founder 3BM, and we actually in the neighborhood days were opposition, as they call it. His clique, my clique didn't like each other. His clique killed my little brother. So we weren't supposed to be together. Period. Cross no stage, nowhere. We supposed to meet in the street, supposed to be beef. That's what the world said. God said differently. So me and him going and doing what we doing started with that connection. So what happened is, because we know how poetry saved our lives, now we go into the schools, we go into the juvenile centers, the penitentiaries, and speak life through poetry, showing some young man that did the same stuff we did. There's hope. Believe in yourself. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Some people around you are pulling you down because you're still in the midst of the same people. Every time you get out of jail, you're going right back to the same people hanging in the same spots and end up right back in the same situation. So we use it to reach our youth because they see us as the rapper. They see us as the ball player, the drug dealer, whatever we were, the gang member. They see that, so we validate it. They got a respect level without us having to push too hard. Like the pastor may have a harder time reaching the gangbanger just because he hasn't went through enough to say, I'm going to reach for God. But because somebody that looks like him, sounds like him, walk the whole talk and everything, he has enough faith in us, which he shouldn't have faith in man. But if that's the way we're going to lead him to the man, then that's what we use, poetry, to reach our youth.
Evie, how is it being are you the only female in the group?
No.
Oh, okay.
She was probably. Sisters.
No, it's a few females. It's quite a few of us.
All right, I really would like to check you guys out.
Chill,
I'm about to check you out and everything. So now,
Hear me out.
what I want you all to do, because I know you all experience. See, Mo, you said that when your first time, you had to have a notebook. I'm still a notebook stage. I don't memorize because I write so many.
Mhm.
You know, I can if I have a day where I don't have anything to do, which is very rare. I used to be able to crank out 20 poems a day with no problem.
Wow.
Now I might can crank out about 10.
That's
That's
still
still good.
You know.
You talking about that?
Yeah,
more than we can
Wow.
that, man. I'd be somewhere sitting up. Like my books is everywhere. I wish I could crank that out.
Right. And if I do a short story, I have a 4-part short
Maybe you gotta
story
up my
that took me like about maybe I wrote a short story in 30 minutes. I wrote a 2-hour play in about maybe 8 hours.
Wow.
That's a blessing.
So, but
Wow.
here's the thing, and I thank God for this. I visualize what I want to write. Like, you see that picture up there?
Mhm.
I can take that and write a poem maybe within the next 5 minutes.
Wow.
Because the first thing I used to use as inspiration was paintings, African American paintings. I love African American art. And when you have to be able to really see it. But what I want you to do is this, because you all got to teach me how to just memorize. Because I got so much stuff in my head. And believe it or not, I don't want them to know all that. I'll say it. My kids, they laugh. But in my early days of high school, I tried my hand at rapping and stuff and wrote a lot of. I still got the notebook somewhere in my mom's house. But so I'm finding out that a lot of our lives are paralleling, But what I want you to do is take some time out. We got a few minutes left. Take some time out. I want to hear each one of you just freestyle something or something that you already have.
Okay.
Let's see. We're gonna let ladies go first.
I am that treasure that was conceived on February 19, the one whose mama raised her from a princess to a queen. I'm not perfect as can be, but I do know that I am a queen, and I've been through many trials and tribulations, but I've stood strong and conquered every situation, and I'm living very independently. But I'm taking life very seriously, because along with my 3BN family, I'm doing spoken word ministry, some authoring, and if you keep watching movies, you'll soon see me, and I'm leaving the past behind. And I'm not gonna do a rewind, because I'm staying mentally free and blocking out all the negativity, because I had the favor of God all over me, because I was just spared by his grace and his mercy. And no matter where he takes me, I'll keep that humbleness spirit inside of me, knowing that it's better to give than to receive. That's why I'm always willing to give to those in need, from a homeless man on the streets to a little innocent child that's hungry and just wants to eat. I love the path that I'm taking. And if you think I'm vain or conceited, well, you're mistaken. I just finally know who I am, and that is a God's queen that's taking her stand.
All right. All right. Let's see. Which one of you brothers want to go next?
I'm set the stage for him, so I go. Ask me, how does it feel to know that God is moving? Ask me, how does it feel when all your prayers are being answered and everything that you're asking for is falling into place? Ask me, how does it feel? See, when God starts pouring blessings into your life, what can be more overwhelming? I done spoke the word of God in places that y'all couldn't even imagine, and I still got a standing ovation. Now, who can stop the word of God?
Come on.
And they ask me, why do I give praise? It's because I think highly of my God. And even when I do things that's not even Christ-like, he forgive me for my sins. And even when no one else can see my vision, he can see it clearly because he understands me. So again, what would I do without my God? I'm trying to touch every soul in this nation. So let my voice carry. Let these words be heard. I'm trying to leave a mark on the world. So God, just give me the proper guidance and allow me to be a leader in your kingdom. And they said that those that wait upon the Lord, they should renew their strength. They should mount up with wings as eagles, and they should run and not be weary. They should walk and not faint. Understand these words. I took a leap of faith, but now I'm sprinting. I'm like a day away from a dream. I'm an image of Christ. I make praising look so attractive. The way God give me these words and how they come out and how they empower. I just pray that they reach the heavens. I told my last job that God had a plan for me, and ever since then, I ain't never looked back. So even when times got hard, I still gave him praise. So tell me, who to earn their trust with the Lord? And they say when he trusts you with a little, he'll trust you with a lot. That's why I can go anywhere in this world where I desire. Stay as long as I want to stay. I spend what I want to spend. I'm financially stable. I saw my time coming like watching sand in an hourglass. I prayed for patience. I humbled myself and I asked God to do his will. So now through poetry, I connect with God on different levels the average wouldn't understand. How many poets do you know receive many blessings and still remain grounded? And everything God called me to do is already in God's size. So I'm going to keep building up the kingdom, spreading the word of God, empower everything that has breath, make believers out of those that have doubt. So God, I pray that you keep using me until I'm all used out.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the man of the hour.
Man of the hour.
They set the stage. So I'm going to take a page out my book without looking. Because I know a lot of things have been taken. I'll be the best. Nope. Be the best from the West, not Brooklyn. But I come off the chest and I'm not looking for no applause. Because I know that if I go hard, I know it'll always be for God, and that's for real. I'm glad to be in the building behind Evie and Chill. And I keep it going like God, because I'm going to keep it real. So I ain't going to sit still. I know I steal a whole lot, so I grind hard every day. It feel like I don't never take off. But God said if I stay focused on him, chill, what I'm doing to take off. That means it'll take flight. He said if you hungry for this word more, then take a bite. He said he'll take my wrongs and make them right. The haters may hate. I tell them take a hike. I'm getting touchdowns. I'm scoring heavy, but I don't never take it light. And some may take it like I'm too cocky. I take it like God gave me the green light, so who gonna stop me? So take a seat. Let us put in work and watch me. Because I take it, some been doing it the world's way, and it's looking sloppy. So take notes and try to copy, or take votes and see what folks can try to knock me. They're ready to try to take me out the picture, crop me and Photoshop me. But take heed. I ain't never gonna leave, because God got me doing something greater, doing something major, like going from a satellite to a pager. My God to upgrade you, my savior. See, I fell in love with Jesus and found favor. He said, now do me a favor. He said, go tell this truth to your neighbor. So I put it in poems and books and songs and hooks. Stay dedicated and never hated how long it took, because looks can be deceiving. Somebody can be doing the unbelievable, but never tell you how hard it is for them to keep believing. And somebody think they doing the best thing they can do, while somebody on the sideline saying they underachieving. And somebody smiling in your face on the daily, but inside they still grieving. So if you don't believe in you, then who will? See, God gave you a gift that's so hot, so why should you chill? Oh, I get it. It's the many critics told you stop, quit, and don't finish. Or maybe you thought it was your turn to put you on the back burner for a minute. Well, it's time to fly again. Sky's the limit. And it's all good if God's all in it. It's the race to be won. Go ahead with it. But you're victorious even before you cross the finish line. And somebody told you, Evie, you'll know when it's time, and you'll never lose as long as you keep a winner's mind. Because you've been set up to be set apart and set aside. And somebody today came to give you an uplift, so accept the ride. But sometimes we got to get out our own way and step aside. Get up and move around. Got to do you, no matter who's around. And if you give life your best fight, you'll never lose around. That Mayweather type of attitude. Taking care of family and kids is what a real mom and dad to do. You only did what you had to do, so forget who get mad at you. You got a whole lot of people ready to show love and give gratitude. So go ahead, kill the game, poets, and leave a few grieving. You don't need a new reason. They say you reap what you sow. So it's your due season. So collect your harvest. Make your plan. Set your target. Paint your picture. You your best artist. You got a masterpiece in you that's waiting to get started. Due season. That's for y'all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Hey, I love you,
Man,
baby. It's for you, baby.
man, listen. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna give you the name of the prophetic poet of the.
He rubbed his head, boy. He rubbed his head.
Man.
I don't know what you're doing.
And that wasn't anything you had written down?
I wrote some up.
Okay.
The beginning was
Just
free.
freestyle.
Yeah, just give
But
you
you know
a
what?
little bit of both.
He
That's what I
always
do.
does that.
Right.
That's why, you
God,
know what?
man.
Every time, like I said, it's been 14, 15 years
Mhm.
I've been around him. And it's like every time, it's like, it seemed like the first time.
Right.
So it's always,
That's what's up.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And what
Oh,
got
man,
me,
it's amazing.
when I used to rap, I used to freestyle. And people thought I was crazy. I used to walk the blocks and just rap about everything. Like you say, you can write about everything you see. I would rap and freestyle about everything I would come in contact with. And once I got into poetry, I'm my worst critic. I always say, and they know it, I try to teach them, dress up to mess up. So people that don't know you doing a poem, you can play, you ain't on the beat. So it's harder to dress up and mess up on the beat because the beat is going to keep you, I got to stay on point. If you mess up, then you out of there. But with poetry, if you mess up, don't say you messed up.
Right.
If you got to say that line 3 times, say it. I remember when. Yep. Remember when. Whatever. To get into your flow and come back with it. But people try to dictate and say, as a poet, they was like, man, you're going to run out of stuff to talk about. As long as I got life, I got lyric. That's my motto.
Yeah, no one knows when you messed up. No. Like you said, repeat that line. You know, you think that's part of the piece. I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to stop. And then you change the inflection. I'm trying to stop while you're trying to remember what you were going to say.
That's it. That's it.
Right.
See? That's it. Right there.
Yeah, but momentum has always been able to speak off the top of his head. That's a big gift.
That is a gift. And you know, like I said, I'm gonna be like you guys when I grow up.
Hey, come on, baby.
You already got it. All the
beyond
you got it. You
got it.
Listen, you know, it's been awesome. Give a shout out to your ministries that you all are part of.
Yes.
Chill.
My pastor, Pastor Michael Hurst, out here in Aurora at New Horizon. Everybody that's a part of that body. Also, my kids, Kanil, Mari, my granddaughter, that's 2 months now. Admire my mother, just everybody that shows love, support, Kingdom for Life.
And how can they reach you?
Oh, on Facebook, you can find me at Chill Poet /actor. Instagram is Christopher Kanil. And what's Twitter? Twitter is, I don't even use Twitter, but I'll put it out there. It's I'm Kanil Chill or something like that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Does anybody still use Twitter? You can't say a whole lot on Twitter.
It's so much. It's so much media outlets and it's Facebook,
Snapchat, and all this stuff. I can't do it all. I try to Facebook and stay simple. Instagram, my daughter got me doing it. So, but my ministry is 3BM. I come up under Bill Winston and Forest Park.
Oh, okay.
And that's where it started with me. And then I started doing with my mom and them, their ministers as well. And we do a home Bible study with the family, the intimate family, and we branch out and do things. But 3BM has been my baby, my ministry. Me and Odyssey created this thing, and let me not scroll out. You know what I'm saying? He took a step back from the group, but he's still part of the group in our hearts, and God know what he's doing. So what we do with poetry, that's my ministry. Shout out to the whole 3BM fam. I can't even mention everybody's name, but y'all know who y'all is. 3BM doing what they doing, continue to. And I'm glad God picked me to be the leader that y'all decided to follow. And shout out to my children, my family, and my wife, you know what I'm saying, Kimberly Helms. She ain't Kimberly Helms no more. She's Miss Kimberly Garrett, Mrs. Kimberly Garrett. Yeah. I gotta get used to this. I'm new at this, but I just love what we doing. I love y'all for allowing us this platform, this opportunity, just to get amongst my people. I don't see them enough sometimes, it feel like, and then be able to share what we all have a common love for, God and poetry. So thank you.
How can they reach you, man?
I just had it up there, but they can reach me on Momentum Garrett, MOE, that's with an E in it, MOEMENTUM Garrett. That's on Facebook, and I got 2 pages on Facebook you can reach me at, and then my Instagram you can reach me at Poet in Motion 3BM, POETNMOETION 3BM. All right.
And Miss Evie.
All right. Well, I want to give a shout out to my pastor, Pastor Smokey Norfolk at Victory Cathedral Worship Center, his family, all the choir members and the members of the church. Give a shout out to my mother, my brothers. I don't have a husband yet, so just pray for me.
Just wait.
But
you patient.
I just want to, thank you for allowing us to do this. I'm so thankful for all of my prayer partners. Every day I wake up, I get on the prayer line, 5 a.m. I'm so thankful. That's how I start my day. They have really I've been so blessed. Queen Khadijah introduced me to it, so I just want to really, let everybody know I'm so thankful for that. I thank Chill and Mo for being here. One of my favorites. I love y'all so much.
I love you too.
I love y'all. These are my buddies, my friends. We've been
You're gonna have to tag me
going,
in this video.
doing so much together. A lot of
Yes.
history. I remember when Chill and I went to Atlanta together.
Yeah.
To the radio station out there. Chill will call me up. I call him up. Let's go here, let's go there, let's do this. And same with Momentum, we always there for each other, support each other. It's like a family, it's more than just poets and, just we family. So, piggybacking to poetry, we're spoken word artists, poets first, and on top of everything else, I'm a spoken word artist, producer, writer, author.
You a lot.
I work a 9 to 5. I'm praying to God, bless me beyond that.
Bless you.
But anyway, I just want to, close it out just thanking you once again for even allowing us to be here.
How can they reach you?
Oh, you can reach me. See, I keep it simple, all that, all that technical stuff. I am on Facebook. Inbox me on Facebook under Evie Wells. I have my.
I'm telling people inbox you.
Stop telling them.
Yes,
make them frontliners.
Oh, make them frontliners?
Yeah, tell them just put it on your front screen timeline. Don't be telling everybody to inbox you.
Oh, don't inbox me.
I'm just telling you.
I have an email address, Evie Soul.
Trying to save you.
EvieSoul@gmail.com. Yeah. So reach me there. I'm on Instagram as well. So I don't know my Instagram. Just look me up as Evie.
We'll just hit you up on Facebook.
Yeah, there you go.
Facebook.
No inboxing my sister.
Well, again, I thank you guys for coming. And for our listeners, feel free to stop by Victory Temple every Sunday morning. We start at 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. right here at 2000 West Roosevelt Road in Broadview, Illinois. And we are located inside of the Community Presbyterian Church building. Tomorrow, since we are in the month of October, it's the breast cancer awareness and also domestic violence awareness month. So we are dedicated tomorrow as Survivor Sunday. So if you want to come on out, amen, be a part of it on tomorrow, you can. And then every Wednesday from 7 to 8 is our Bible class. I think that's about it. We're going to close out with a poem. From I believe it's Momentum. It's Mo. Yeah, okay. Gonna close out with one of your pieces, man. But stay tuned for I Have a Voice on IntellectualRadio.com.
In the beginning
was
the Word.
And
the Word
was God.
In the beginning was spoken word. The
Word was spoken by Mo and I.
Because God knew our end before our beginning. Knew who would sin, who would try to stop the sinning. So He gave us the choice between heaven or hell. So we can be first and not last, the head and not the tail. So we can have everlasting life as well as everlasting peace. And the power of a tongue to kill a beast. So we can be leaders and not followers, above and not beneath. So the angels have taken flight. And tonight, right here is where we landed. Before the word was spoken, it was written. So with all you're getting, get understand.